Good afternoon, everyone, all the participants of extensive reading around the world 2021. We are here. We are very glad to present our submission number 63 and presentation number 1591. Here the team, Ibu Wiwiet Eva Savitri and me, Ahmad Munir, are going to present our presentation entitled Students' Learning Experiences in Using Xreading Books and Audios. So, Ibu Wiwit Eva Savitri will start the presentation, and I will also present in the second half of the presentation. Bu Wiwit, will you start your presentation and share your screen, please?
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Munir. Hello, everyone. It's nice to be here in English, extensive reading around the world 2021. Yeah, Pak Munir is my partner, so we will present the result of our study together. But please allow me to be the first one to show you our slide. Okay. I hope that everyone can see it clearly.
Yes, it is.
Our title is Students' Learning Experiences in Using Xreading Books and Audios. Okay. Yes. Why we are interested in this title? As an online library, Xreading provides readers with books. But perhaps many people who use Xreading do not realize that there are also audios in Xreading. Therefore, students especially do not realize. We assume that many students, actually at the first time, we assume that there are many students who do not realize the existence or the availability of the audios in Xreading. Well, I know that lately there have been many workshops on the use of Xreading, so I believe that many teachers nowadays are more familiar with the features in Xreading, so they know that Xreading has books and many of the books are accompanied with audios. However, when we did the study, we had that suspicion that our participants in that extensive reading program did not really know that the audios will exist. So we tried to prove it. Okay. So actually, the existence or the availability of the audios can make students do other activities, not only reading. They can do reading while listening, not only reading itself, okay, not just reading only. They can do reading while listening. And as I put here, the availability of books and their audio person triggers curiosity, whether the students use them both. Okay, so here we're going to focus on whether students use the books and the audios, whether they use it together or they use it, in isolation. And the second one, I noticed, or we actually noticed that the studies on students' experience in using Xreading, especially on the use of the books and the audios, are rarely conducted. So previous studies mostly talk about the impact of Xreadings or any Xreadings, any extensive reading platform or program to improve students' English skills or English competence. But about the experience itself, we still found so few studies on it. That's why we try to explore what happened actually in these participants, in the students who study, related to their experience in using the books and audios of Xreading. Okay, so the aim of our study is to depict the students' learning experience in using the books and audios available in Xreading, and also to find out their tendency for conducting with the RWL, reading while listening, or reading only, or both. Yeah. We had 154 participants, they all freshmen of university in Indonesia. They belong to an extensive reading program for one semester. So we try to see and to provide what happened to them, okay, to the use of the books and the audios during their extensive reading program for one semester. We'll see that our data is from digital record of Xreading platform because Xreading has reports, okay, so we see it from the report of Xreading, and also responses to the questionnaires, which is especially designed based on the digital records. So from the digital records, we created questionnaires, and then we share to the students to take out more information which we cannot see, they cannot find from the report, from the academic report. And the data analysis is quantitative. So here are the findings, and this one is from the digital report. We can see that in this slide, we can see the average. I think Pak Munir will explain it more. So Pak Munir, would you please help me explain more in details about this numbers?
Yeah, my pleasure, Bu Wiwiet. Yeah. So all the audience, this is the first findings that we had from our research. Once again, our first research questions, the aim of our study is to depict the students' learning experiences in using Xreading books and audios. Remember that our participants are 154 freshman students, and this is what is recorded in the Xreading program. Yeah, the number of books they added in their list of readings in average for one semester is 27. Yeah, and the average books that they read, they passed, they finished, is 22 books, the average for the whole semester. Yeah. So there is a difference here between the number of books added and the number of books finished. So we see the a difference, 5 books difference. So there were books that they hadn't finished when we collected our digital data, from the Xreading. So that's the facts that we found in our Xreading. And then the words, average words they read, 58,826 words, with average book level is 4.6. we understand that there are 8 levels, if I'm not mistaken, of books, yeah, in Xreading. Yeah. From the words that they read, yeah, and the number of books they passed, we get the information on their reading speed, 116 words per minute. So yeah, well, that's moderate, yeah, quite good, yeah, for freshman university students. Remember that these students are from English department, yeah. So we expect that they had already had some, you know, proficiency in English. Reading time that they spend reading the whole semester in Xreading is, yeah, 467 minutes, yeah, in one semester, yeah. And listening time 44 minutes. Remember that we from this information, yeah, we found that some students actually didn't actually didn't actually listen to the audiobooks, yeah. That's why the number of listening time is very compared to the reading time. It's comparatively small, low, yeah. Only 10% of their reading time. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, this is the tendency for conducting reading while listening or reading only, yeah, or both, yeah. I think I should remind all the audiences that what we mean by reading while listening, yeah, is that when they also read the audiobooks, yeah, in their X reading, yeah. So we then assume that they read the books while listening to the they were listening to the audiobooks while reading the text in the X reading, yeah. While the reading only group, yeah, were those freshmen who didn't uh, use the audiobooks at all, so zero time spent on listening to the audiobooks, yeah. So 60 out of 154 students here did reading only without using audiobooks, and 94 read books in this reading while listening, yeah, to audiobooks, yeah. So we can conclude from the number here that students know that there are audiobooks in the X-reading, and more than half of them made use of the audiobooks. Yeah, but remember, yeah, if we go to the previous slide, yeah, the listening time is only 10%, yeah, of the reading time, yeah. So we can say that their use of audiobooks is limited, yeah, to 10% of their reading time, yeah. So we can later in the next slide we can go further to explain what do we mean by 10% here. What did they do with 10% of their reading time here? Listening to what and for what purposes, yeah. Can you go to the next slide, Bu? Yeah. So this is the finding of their questionnaire. Yeah. So from the result of the questionnaire, we know that they find that the reading levels in the X-reading, yeah, are mostly, most of them will say that they are suitable to their reading level, the books that they read. Of course, we hope that they read their level or a bit slightly above their level, so that there is a somewhat a challenge and a gain over there. Yeah, and most of them, almost 100%, 98, know that Xreading has audio facilities. Yeah, and from that, yeah, they, from the data, we know that 60, sorry, not 60, 94 students made use of the audio books. Yeah, because they believe that, yeah, while listening. Reading while listening helps them to understand the book. Yeah, 65.5, 0.50% say so, and more than a third didn't believe that reading while listening helps them understand the book better. Yeah. Of course, most of them also know that the actually the speed of the audio books in the Xreading can be adjusted to their ears, yeah, at ease, of course. Yeah. Can you continue with to explain the next slide?
Wait a minute. Okay, well, this slide is about the students reasoning for not doing reading while listening. So one question in the questionnaire is about this, and this is an open-ended question actually, so they can write anything they have in mind. So these are the conclusion or the extract of what they have mentioned. So the first thing they mentioned why they didn't do reading while listening is confusion. So many students get confused when they do both listening and reading. Actually, this confusion related to number one. So many of them say that they are unable to do multitask. They have problem with concentration and easily distracted when they do more than one thing in the same time. So again, back to number one, because they are interrelated, but they confused which one they have to do actually, to listen or to read. So we cannot simply say that they are not good in doing that, because everyone has their own way of learning. So this is what happened. This is the fact that
Yeah.
the students say that they confused when they have to do two tasks in the same time, listening and reading. And then the other thing they mentioned is about preference. They simply said that they prefer to read only. They feel that they understand better when they read without listening to anything, especially listening to the audio of the books. However, there are also some of them who mention that it's okay for me to listen to something, but it is music, not not a voice or some narration of the text I read. Okay? This is related to their comfort, so they feel that they are more comfortable doing that. They prefer reading only, and they feel comfortable in doing that compared to reading while listening. And then number four, here related to the pace of the audio books. Although the students say that they know that the audio speed can be adjusted, still they say that reading while listening slows down their reading pace. So they prefer to follow their own speed. They don't like to to be dictated by the audio available in Xreading. It slows down. many of them say that it slows down their pace. Okay, and then because they have to adjust with the speed from Xreading. Although again, they know that they can adjust the speed. It is strange, but this is what they say. This is related to number 5. The audio speed is slower than the reading speed. So students prefer to read online because they feel that it is too slow. Again, it is too slow according to many of them. Although they are Indonesian, they are not Native American, they are not native English, the native of English, but still they feel that the audio speed is slow. Later, perhaps we need to conduct another study to see whether what they mean slow here is really slow for them. If we connected with their understanding of the audio. Okay, and the last reason they mentioned is simply because they are not interesting. Because it is not interesting thing to do. Reading while listening is not something interesting for them to do. So they say, I want to read. I don't want to listen. So I just do it. I just do reading only because I like to read. I don't want to listen. That's the reasons why students didn't do reading while listening. And in the next slide, we have the information about the reason of the students when they choose to do reading while listening. Okay, the first one, well, it is actually, I have expected this answer, actually, learning pronunciation, because many of them mention it. I assume that they will mention it as well, and it is proof that students mention it, that they listen while they read because they want to learn the pronunciation. They want to know how they pronounce correctly, right?
Yeah,
and
so
then
they
the second one,
they maximize the facility in Xreading, right?
yeah, they maximize the facility because they're afraid that their pronunciation, the pronunciation of the words they know so far is not proper, Munir. So they choose to use the facility, the audios, to help them to check their pronunciation. Okay, and then the second one, this is interesting. The students mentioned that it helps them to be more focused. So this is contrary actually with the previous slide, in which students say that it causes confusion. Reading while listening causes confusion. But here, students mention that reading while listening help them to be more focused on their reading. Perhaps we need to do more studies about it. I don't know whether related to the students' learning styles or related to the students' basic competence. Whether students who have better competence choose this one, more students choose this one, or more students with better competence choose that reading while listening cause confusion. Okay. We haven't done it. We haven't done any study about it. So perhaps later we researchers can do research on that. Okay, and then the third statement they have: this facility, audio, and doing reading while listening help them to reduce fatigue and eye strain. Well, they have some long screen time during the pandemic because this extensive reading program occurred during pandemic. So reading while listening help them to reduce fatigue and eye sore. So when their eyes tired, they just they can
Listen.
They don't have to rely on their eyes to read all the time. They get help from the listening. So that's what they admit. Okay, And then number 4 here, related to storytelling skills, students say that listening to the audiobooks help them to improve their storytelling skills. Because if not, they will have to, they have no examples. They have no examples. So by having the facility, they get examples of how the story should be told.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, it helps, reading by listening helps you to understand the book. Understand the books. Perhaps the students belong to auditory students, Pak Munir.
Yeah.
They understand things better when they listen to the things, auditory students. Again, it actually can help us to to understand more if we do further studies.
Yeah.
And the last one, of course, related to listening. So they believe that when they do reading while listening, their listening ability improves. In the next slide, here we have conclusion. Well, the conclusion, like what Pak Munir have mentioned, elaborate from the digital report and also from the result of the questionnaires we have. So we have two conclusions here. The first one here, the participant actually have made use of Xreading for reading books and listening to audiobooks. However, the use of the audiobooks hasn't been maximized for their personal reasons. Like Pak Munir has mentioned previously, it's only 1/10, right?
Yeah, 10% of the total
So
reading.
just 10%
Yeah.
of the time.
The
Because
reading time.
the reading time and the listening time given is too quick. Too quick. And then the second conclusion is that personal preference and needs for reading studies has been the main reason for the underuse of audiobooks. Yeah. So there are so many students relate why they don't do the activities with their personal preference and needs. Like I mentioned previously, students who claim that they were unable to do more than one task say that reading while listening is confusing, so they prefer not to do it. And students say that they don't need to do it because what they want to do just to read the books. But there are also students who said that audiobooks help them to be more focused, right? So it is so based on the student's preference. Later on, when we make extensive reading program, we need to help them as teachers or instructor here. We need to help students to maximize the use of the facilities. In accordance with their preference and need, but still they are able to use the facilities well, because some it is unfortunate if the facilities is there, the facilities are there, but they don't maximize the use of it.
Yeah. So
well, that's the end of our presentation. Pak Munir have to have other things to say.
Yeah. As part of the theme of the extensive reading program, we understand that what the participants had committed to in the Xreading program was actually remarkable, given the situation in Indonesia, for example, internet connection and the gadget, the laptops, that all the facilities that they need, to get connection, and also to have access to Xreading, even though they got it with subsidies from our university, well, at least they have participated well. Is a good sign of the success of the Xreading program that has been run by the university. Thank you, Bu Wiwiet, for the presentation. I hope that all the audience of ERAW 2031 can grasp the major findings of our study, and of course we welcome feedbacks, comments, and also further questions in relation to our findings. We will be very happy to respond to all your feedbacks, comments, and questions in the ERA 2021 system, in the websites. Thank you, all the audience. Will be thank you, Bu Wiwiet. We will be back to you in the websites of the ERAW 2021. Thank you. That's
we
all.
hope that everyone can get benefit from our presentation today.
Oh yeah, one more thing. Pak is Indonesian language for Mr. and Bu is for Miss or Ma'am. For Ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you very soon. Goodbye. Goodbye.
See you.
See you.